Southern Sun in Ikoyi.
Yes.
Nice.
So I stayed in Southern Sun, Southern Sun, and then when I arrived at the hotel, a few of the team had arrived before me. So one of my friends was like, "Charlie, don't eat their jollof. Don't eat it." I said, "What do you mean, don't eat it? I mean, I need to taste it and see."
Mm-hmm.
And so I ordered for the jollof, and when it came, oh, I'm like, I really understood why. Your rice is different from our rice. I think that's what makes the difference. If you know the Nigerian jollof and the Ghanaian jollof, not that Nigerian jollof doesn't taste nice, but I think your rice. I mean, I think the rice is what makes the difference.
My mom wouldn't forgive me if I say that Nigerian jollof is not good because she makes the best jollof so far.
Okay.
You know, in Nigeria,
okay.
But Ghana jollof is different. It has that soulfulness, you know, in it, and I like the shito as well.
Okay. So how many bottles are you carrying with you?
Don't worry, I don't even need to say that on here.
So well, our listeners would like to know a little bit more about you. Just tell us a little bit about you. We know that you do a lot of real estate business within Africa. You have businesses you do in Ghana, Rwanda, and so on and so forth. But just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Funke, like you rightly said.
Yeah.
I'm a country girl. I think I need to lead with that. So even when I'm here in Accra, I'd rather just be, you know, in Aburi Hills or just be somewhere very peaceful.
Right.
So when I also go to places in Africa, I like to be in the countryside. That's what I want to lead with. I love Ghana. I love Africa. I love food. So everywhere I go, I need to try the food.
Okay.
I'm a lawyer by profession initially, but then I delved into real estate. And like you rightly said, I was brought up in the university community. My dad is a professor.
Okay.
So when you said I should call you Nia, I'm like, yo, better put that doctor in it.
I know.
Because I know what it takes to, you know, be in the academic field. Yeah.
So let's go into our real estate conversations, and I'm going to get a few people sending me comments and questions, and we'll take it as and when. And you can connect with us on 0544 32 1019. 0544321019. If you send us some messages as well, you can get have 5 of Funke's books here that I would love to give away. And so my question to you is that what first attracted you to the African real estate business?
I think I'll start with what attracted me to real estate in itself before I started exploring real estate in Africa.
Right.
You know, I grew up, again, I think it all takes me back home. You know, my parents had a real estate business on the side. So apart from my dad being a professor and working in the university, he had a real estate business where he used to build hostels for students in the university. My mom also is a hotelier. She has her own hotel as well. She built it herself. So I grew up on sites and also grew up on the campus. So, you know, I fell in love with people making something out of nothing, a place just being bare land, and then in a few months, you're going to site, coming here and there, and then you're building something really beautiful. So I think I fell in love with real estate from home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So then let's go into the conversation. Now, traveling within the continent of Africa, what has been the key attraction for you in terms of real estate? And
apart from food.
Apart from food, yes.
So African real estate is transforming. You know, we started from foreigners building our land, building our houses for us, to us building ourselves.
Yeah.
So that transformation where we ourselves took charge of real estate, you know, industry, started creating our own experiences. You find some houses even around Africa that rivals those in Europe and also in America. That alone is encouraging. And then I felt like this is where I needed to be. I needed to show Africans that you could invest in other African countries apart from the one that you're currently domiciled or where you're from. And you could also make a lot of, you know, income from buying properties around Africa. So I love Africa. I love the people. And I feel like Africa needs more visibility, especially in the real estate industry.
So, you know, usually when people talk about tourism, hospitality, they detach real estate from it. How do we connect these two now? Because even in the city of Accra, for example, everywhere you pass, you see these high-rise buildings, Airbnb, you know, like people are just building beautiful apartments and even competing with the hotels now.
Yes.
You know, so how do we connect these two?
I'm going to make a joke. So it's like wache.
Okay.
How do you separate the rice from the beans?
You can't.
Exactly.
You can't.
So that is what real estate and hospitality, that is what I see it as. It's like wache, rice and beans. You can't separate it because real estate, we make places destinations. Right? You want to visit a place, you're not going to live under the tree or just camp, you know, in the safari. Some people do that, but you need to come to a place. You need to experience the country through, you know, an abode, through a place where you can feel that you're experiencing the country properly. So real estate gives hospitality the value that it has, because you can't have touristic traction in a place without proper real estate infrastructure put in place.
Okay, I have this question from one of my friends, Cedric. It says, "I like the way your lady is speaking. Please ask her that how is the industry going to phase? Is the hospitality industry going to phase out with the rise of Airbnb?"
I think that the hospitality industry would adjust, right? And they will start mimicking what we have with Airbnb. Airbnb has made it very accessible, very easy to even get to the hospitality space. From your own house, you can even rent out some bedrooms in your apartment to travelers. And it's easier for you to even generate income from your own property, as opposed to before, when you need a lot of money to build a hotel or something. So I feel like hotels will start mimicking what you have with the Airbnb experience, putting kitchenettes in place where you can also cook your own food, have more freedom. Even if you look at it now, many hospitality business, many real estate companies are now building their houses to, mimic the hotel experience. They have a concierge downstairs, you have a reception, you have a spa within the property, you have a restaurant, you have a gym, a pool. So what else do you need in a hotel that you can't find now with some real estate developments? So I think what the person is asking is whether Airbnb will push out hotels. No, I think hotels would adjust. They would adjust and also compete with the Airbnb businesses.
So you're saying that hoteliers should not see Airbnbs as a threat. They should rather see it as a complementary.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, that is actually one of the big conversations, because if you find out now, some people prefer to stay in Airbnbs than the traditional hotels because of the freedom that it brings. You know,
and it's more affordable.
It's more affordable. You can cook your own food. You can do all these things. Okay. I mean, let me also find out from you. I mean, how does real estate development influence the attractiveness of tourism destinations?
Yeah. So many people, when they want to come to a country, they first find a place.
Yeah.
Have you realized that? You go online, now with all the content creators, YouTubers, you go online, what's popping in this country? Where do I go to? So nowadays, you find that the destination, the places attracts the tourists.
Yeah.
Not just, tourism, I want to just, explore, go to the safari. Sometimes what brings you to a country is the real estate. So I think that's my answer to that question.
So, I mean, that investment is actually needed 100%.
Very much needed.
To be able to get people there. So, if you're listening to us, this is Z101.9 FM. In the studio with me is Funke Alawa from Nigeria. She is the MD for Mollab Africa.
Yeah.
Yes, and we are actually discussing how real estate is basically changing the face of tourism and hospitality within the African continent. And especially, I was in Ethiopia recently, and I think that Addis Ababa is changing so fast. Yeah, like Addis is really changing, and we are seeing a lot of real estate developments also taking place, and I think that this is actually happening fast. What do you think is actually pushing a lot of these countries to develop their countries and, get all these type of buildings coming up?
I think at the end of the day, it still boils down to the economic impact. Right. Any country where tourism is doing well, the economy is doing well, because tourism brings a lot to the GDP of any country. So for countries who really want to evolve and grow, I would say pay attention to your tourism. Develop more infrastructure, have more airport. Like Ethiopia, for instance, you mentioned that their airlines is one of the best in Africa.
True.
It gives them more accessibility. People can come into Ethiopia easily.
It's
you don't need to catch too many flights to get there. So the country is also moving in that direction. They know that they need to put things in place to bring in tourists so that the economy can be better. When people come for tourism, what do? They rent vehicles. Yeah. Logistics, transport money is coming in. They buy food. The farmers are making money. People who have businesses in the food area, agricultural space, they're making money as well. People are buying clothes, fabric, they're in the market shopping. So it has a whole impact on the economy of a country when you develop tourism and put infrastructure in place.
So let's not take residential development out of the question. So what role would you think that residential developments within the continent of Africa, what role do they play? Like resort and mixed use projects in destination development, do they have some role to play at all?
Absolutely. It's becoming the foundation now of tourism, because people who come to a country want to have that all inclusive experience. They want to stay in a place where they can actually, have a piece of the culture, where they don't need to go so far to get food, to get drinks. So we have a lot of all-inclusive resorts now in countries like Kenya, where you're in a resort and then you can see the like, what Ritz-Carlton is doing now in the Masai Mara.
Yeah.
Ritz-Carlton has a very nice eco lodge where you pay about 3,500 a night to stay there. They went right into the Masai Mara and they built a very lovely resort there where you can see the animals migrating, you can see the culture. So if that is in place in many other countries, maybe even more affordable, not just waiting for foreigners to come and build for us, trust me, tourism will have a great impact with such developments.
I have a friend of mine just sent me a message. Ejoji is talking about, and I think the message he sent me makes a lot of sense, because that's the conversation I even wish that we have, and it's good we're having this.
Nice.
So Ejoji's message revolves around the fact that a lot of the Airbnbs that are operating, it's difficult for government to regulate them. Compared to how easy it is for governments to be able to regulate the hotels. So if I have my own house I'm giving out to somebody, tax free. The person comes to stay in and just walks away. How does government regulate these businesses so they can also get?
That's a very good question, because even in Kenya now the government is regulating Airbnb. You have to be registered. And apart from the impact on the economy in terms of taxes, that people who run Airbnb businesses would pay, also for the security of the tourists as well. If you're not registered, then how can the government monitor, how things are transpiring amongst the Airbnb owners and the guests who are coming in as well? So I feel that it's not to stifle the business, not to stop them from running Airbnb businesses, but to regulate it in a way that it has a good impact on the economy and also, create a safer space for tourists who are coming in. Because anybody can just, download the app on their phone and have an Airbnb apartment and run the business. But the government needs to be involved just to regulate and to make sure that people are paying taxes on Airbnb, but not to stop it and not to hinder them from running their businesses.
And what do you think government should do in terms of security? Because you don't want somebody going to stay in these apartments and all of that. And then now, and I don't know even how registered a lot of these apartments are. You are in that space.
Airbnb also has a system for that, for the verification, for security for people.
Okay.
But the government also can be involved. They're doing that in Kenya already, where you need to register yourself. The address of your property will be known. Your own contact and information details will be known as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's well answered. My friend Ejoji, who is listening to the show. So in terms of Ghana, you've been here for a long time. How would you assess Ghana's real estate market compared to other African countries that you visited?
Okay. I wouldn't say I've been here for a long time, but I've been coming here for a while.
Yeah, you've been coming and going.
Yeah,
so.
and I would say that I'm so impressed. I'm not going to lie. When I was coming in just on Thursday, I saw that they started doing the motorways already. The roads, a lot of roads are being done.
Yeah.
The new president, John Mahama, the president, is done the road that is currently doing the road that leads to Kumasi.
Yeah.
Very good for tourism as well. He's doing the motorways, the one that leads to Tema, the one that leads to Aflao, the Volta region. All those places are where the tourists want to go to. You don't want to come to Accra and just stay in the city. You want to go to the Volta region, see Akosombo, see Ada, take a cruise on the Volta Lake. I've done that. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, when?
I did it in 2021, 20.
Oh, I see.
One of those times I was here. Yeah,
I see.
So I love what the government is doing in terms of putting right infrastructure in place to encourage tourism and tourists to come here. Also with real estate, you see a lot of projects springing up here and there. People are building. I think the Ghanaian government is well on their way. I also like the Beyond the Return initiative, the Year of the Return. Lovely. The Esperance were here. So many events and cultural activities. It also helped the economy. Ghana raised about $4.8 billion just for that initiative alone. And I think about 1.2 million people came into Ghana in that period, 2019, and also after. Amazing. My friends even were here as well, Afrochella. So I think Ghana is well on their way. They're doing really well. I love Ghana. And property prices too, quite accessible. You have the high-end ones, you have the affordable ones. And there are many areas that people should also look into investing in here that are still they have prospects.
Since you talk about property prices, let's talk about it. Compare property prices.
You have to pay me for consultancy, Dr. Nee. We're going too deep into these conversations.
Property prices in Ghana compared to other African countries, what would you say?
Okay, let me take it from the angle of the return on the investment.
Yeah.
Do you know that rental income in Accra now rivals that in even in the UK?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So if you're investing here, you're making your returns. That's one thing that you're sure to have. The population is growing, the diasporan community is growing as well. Ghana is a good place to invest. Yeah, I would say that it is.
But they're expensive.
It is, but then you get the value for your, for your investment.
I think that if you haven't been to, especially Accra, in the last 10 years, when you get into the city, you'll be a little bit surprised
You'll
because
be
there's a
wowed.
lot of infrastructure development.
Yeah.
Even around the airport area, just as you come out, you see so many buildings
Yeah.
coming up. And I think that in the coming years, maybe 5 to 10 years,
Absolutely.
the city is actually going to, we see all these, but one
The landscape is changing.
the
trust me.
landscape is changing. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I feel that I'm not a real estate expert, but I feel, don't you think that a lot of these real estate experts, I know we are talking about tourism and all of that, but should they not also target a lot of the middle class people? Because I feel that there are a lot of apartments that are sitting empty,
Of course.
and the expat community here is not that large, and because of the way the economy of Ghana is being opened up, you find a lot of the African Americans who are coming in buying land,
Yeah,
and
but what
actually
happens to the locals as well?
what happens to the
Absolutely.
locals?
That happens in many African countries where there's still the housing deficit,
Yeah,
and it's a lot because most developers are building for foreigners, building for tourists. But what happens to the locals as well? That's one space. Also, that's an opportunity for investment here in Accra.
true.
Affordable housing solutions, building in areas that are neglected, but then infrastructure is already there. Why is it that some people are not, like places like Pram Pram, Takoradi, Wenchi? There's so many places that people can develop, especially where there's a university.
Yeah,
Wherever there's a university, you need to go there because hostel and housing for students is a big business. My father, that's what we started with. And even in Nigeria, we have a lot of universities who's catering to those people.
yeah,
So that's why when you want to invest as an investor, my first question is, what is your goal for your investment? Because you can't be sentimental about investments. You need to know why you're investing so that I can advise you and say, this is the areas that you should look into.
yeah.
Yeah. But then
Yeah.
tourism is also a big, good
Area.
driver in real estate. People are bidding for diasporans as well as tourists.
Because one of the things that shocked me from my recent trip, from Ethiopia, went to South Africa and then ended up in Namibia. While we were in Namibia, we visited a part of Namibia called Swakopmund.
Yeah, beautiful.
Oh, if you go to Swakopmund and you see the houses,
Yeah.
it's mind blowing. It's like real estate is like booming in Swakopmund.
It is.
But just the same thing we are discussing now, there's a very huge gap between these tourists are pouring in, staying in all these beautiful apartments, but where the locals are staying,
yeah.
it's not developed.
Worlds apart.
Worlds apart.
Yeah.
And actually in tourism, that normally can make the locals develop apathy towards tourists visiting
True.
the area. And I
Very
think that
true.
that gap has to be breached.
It has to be, and I think the government also has a role to play in that. They need to encourage developers more to invest in such, underserved areas, creating financing solutions for them. Let them, because they also think about their profitability. They're looking at it, or if I build for tourists or build for diasporans or people who have money in that sense of it, I make more from it. I have more returns. It's guaranteed I'll make myself. But if I go for affordable housing, how would I make my profit? So the government needs to, encourage real estate developers to look into those areas as well.
Right. So from of course coming here and going most of the time, what do you think makes Ghana very attractive for both investors and tourists?
I think first is the people are really warm. Like if you come to Ghana, you hardly don't want to come back. You want
Yeah.
to come back here because you love the experience. The country is largely peaceful, and you have like a variety of scenery. You can go to the hillside, the Shy Hills. It's
Yeah.
beautiful there. Aburi, beautiful. You come to Accra.
Well, I need to
city,
take you
it's warm.
to, next time you're in Ghana, maybe we should visit Amejope.
Wow.
Amejope is the highest habitable place in Ghana.
It must be really cold there.
Yes, and in August when you go to Amejope, you have to like wear your winter jackets
Are
and
you
all.
for
Yeah, it's
real?
very cold,
Wow, I'm looking
and
forward to
it's
that.
beautiful. The landscape, the roads, it's like that's like somebody like you who likes the countryside. That's
I
the
do.
place for you.
Absolutely.
You know?
I'm looking forward to that. I was watching a video from a YouTuber yesterday. But there's a new resort in Akosombo,
Okay.
right? The views there, they can rival that of Copenhagen. So beautiful. The hills, the beach. Like Ghana has a lot to offer. And I think what happened during that the year of the return changed the game for Ghana's tourism. Trust me, people started seeing Ghana in the light that they should see it. So Ghana is beautiful. Ghana is peaceful. Um, Also affordable to an extent when you compare it to what you have in the West.
Yeah.
So people like coming, and the weather is great. Like, why not?
Well, which part of Ghana would you say is becoming the hotspot for real estate?
Hotspots. I still think the Greater Accra region, like, is beautiful because of the hills and the beaches over there. Many developers are going there. I've seen a lot of development. There are eco lodges, beachfront hotels and apartments as well. I think Pram Pram is good as well. I think Takoradi is also good for investment. Like I said earlier, Shy Hills, those places, Wenchi. There's some that are already expensive now, so the entry point is a bit high. But there's some areas like Wenchi that are, it's not the hot spot now, but then in the future, people will go there. Shy Hills as well. You have the monkeys, the eels. Like, that's what people like to see when they come to Africa. That's not the only thing we have to offer, but it's one of the things that attracts them to come. When they now come, they realize that, okay, there are other opportunities here. The city is booming. There's even agricultural opportunities for investment, warehousing, commercial development. There's a lot.
Right.
And it's highly untapped. And what I would like to see is more of Africans getting involved in this. Don't just wait for foreigners to come and take the best part of our lands. I feel like we ourselves need to be involved, in the development going on in the real estate sector and also in the hospitality sector.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because for somebody who has traveled to South Africa a couple of times and even gone to Namibia in recent time, I feel you on this, because I feel that a lot of our spaces have been taken by foreigners,
And now, sorry to cut you, Dr. Nee, it's even worse that most developments now, especially all those high-rise buildings, they are built by the Chinese, the white people. I'm not saying Chinese people are white people, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get it.
We need to build our own homes. And it's so bad that we involve locals only in the point of manual labor, doing the labor work. How about the African architects? We can build to the taste of our culture, build to showcase our culture, to also, in a way that our experiences are not lost in the process of building. Why are you building the houses that see people who live in them don't cook food that smells like how food should smell? Open plan kitchens, I love them, but sometimes it doesn't really promote the African culture.
Right.
We need to build homes that represent us as Africans.
And I agree with you entirely. And the sad reality is that African people will make the money here in Africa and take the money abroad and go and invest in a business abroad. You know,
that's the pandemic. I call it the make it here, spend it there pandemic. Why? You make the money here, let the money stay in the system.
No leakages.
That's the only way we can improve the African economy.
Right.
Let the money stay in the system. Buy homes here. Let foreigners come and spend their money here as well.
If you're listening to us, this is Z101.9 FM. My name is Dr. Nii. I'm here with Funke Alawa, MD of Mollab Africa. We are discussing how real estate is changing the face of tourism and hospitality within Africa. And that has been our conversation. You can join this conversation by joining us on 0544321019, and we'll be very happy to read your messages. And of course, Funke has also left about 5 of her books with us that we are very happy to give away to all our listeners. With all the developments that is happening in Ghana, especially, you see all these high-rise buildings, and it's not only in Accra. If you go to a place like Kumasi, which is the second largest city in Ghana, you go to Kumasi and you see a lot of residential real estate houses being built all around. Do you think that Ghana is actually truly really leveraging on this whole real estate thing, or we are just trying to find our footing in it?
There's a long way to go.
Yeah.
With many other African countries, we're scratching the surface. We're well on our way. There's a long way to go. But so far in Accra, what I've seen in recent times, I'm very impressed.
I see. So let's talk about diaspora investment. You already have mentioned that there has been a lot of investment from the diaspora and all. Have you seen any increasing interest from the African diaspora in owning properties in Africa?
Absolutely. That is what is happening right now. You find Nigerians wanting to buy houses in Ghana, vice versa.
In Cape Town.
In Cape Town,
In
especially.
Cape Town.
Yeah.
In Cape Town.
In Cape Town, in Kigali,
Yeah.
in Kenya. So I think the market is opening up, and Africans are buying Africa. We are now owning Africa as opposed
Yeah.
to taking our money to Spain, to to the UK or to America. We're spending money within the economy because we now see that it is possible to make to make money and to make profit from African investments. I think it's really.
So you are actually encouraging a lot of Africans that when they make the money, they should just go into Africa and just make sure that they buy as much properties as possible.
Absolutely. Make informed decisions around Africa. Like there are a lot of good investments here. And not even the ones that seem like they're good. There are a lot of investments that are, undertone investments, but they're really, really, they're like really, they're big money makers. Let me just leave it that way. If you want to know more,
if I should
send a
ask you,
message.
if I should ask you to tell me,
Charlie, like you say, Charlie,
Charlie,
if you ask me too much, I'll send you my bill.
So if I should ask you to tell me maybe 3 African countries that hotspots that you feel like in terms of real estate that people should push their monies into, what would you say?
Let me just say top of my head, low entry, good returns. Nairobi,
Kenya.
Yeah, Nairobi, Kenya. Accra, Ghana as well.
Rwanda.
Yes. Rwanda. That's one of the silent real estate kings in Africa, East Africa especially. Rwanda, Nigeria.
Yeah,
also.
I was going to say I visited Lekki Phase 2, and mind blowing
with the coastal road that they just commissioned.
Yeah.
Is helping. I have a project as well.
Yeah.
It's in a place in Nigeria called Ikota, Lagos.
Okay.
So it's very close to the coastal road. It's an affordable housing solution, just like you said, we're practicing what we're preaching, right? And the coastal road has really helped us to have more traction with the investment. So Nigeria is good. We have the population.
Yeah.
We still have a lot of land.
And you have money.
You say so?
No, I think Nigerians don't show you fake. Like if a Nigerian wants to show you
Ghanaians
opulence,
have a lot of money too.
we are low key.
Well,
Nigerians you show,
if you say so.
Nigerians like to show working. Ghanaians
like
are
to
like
show opulence, but you guys are silent killers, like you say.
So if you're listening to us, 3 hotspots, if you want to put in some money in real estate, a real estate consultant is saying that, think about Ghana, think about Nigeria, think about Rwanda, think about Nairobi, Kenya.
And if you have a lot of money, big bucks, go to Cape Town as well.
Cape Town.
Rental income.
Yeah,
very
Cape
good.
Town, Cape Town. And I think that, I think the investment on, the returns on investment in Cape Town is huge. Why? Because Cape Town is like a huge tourist spot.
It is.
And I see, I stayed in an apartment somewhere around Minelton, and beautiful apartment, beautiful location, security-wise, very safe.
Yeah.
And the owner doesn't live there. She just rents it out to people and all of that. So I think Cape Town, it's like a good catch.
Yeah, anywhere that tourism is on the uprise, that's a good avenue for real estate investment across Africa.
Yeah.
So you look at what is happening, even in Kenya, apart from the UN move to Kenya, there are a lot of, things that the government there is doing to encourage real estate investment. The infrastructure is already, in place. A lot of places in Nairobi have good roads as well. And then train, you can, you have airports at the places where the tourist, sites are.
Yeah.
You can fly straight to Mombasa.
Yeah.
So I think even the government of Ghana can also look into that, having airports in places close to the tourist sites, so that you don't have to drive a long time, possibly on a bad road. But good thing is they're doing the roads now that leads to the Volta region. Of those places.
And those are like major developments because now we are building a highway from Accra all the way into Ivory Coast. So that highway is still there's
also
still
going to help business as well, logistics.
So
it's
much.
a big ecosystem.
Yeah.
I think the government has a large role to play. However, even we ourselves, real estate developers and people in the private sector, we also need to partner with the government. They can't do it alone. And the government needs to support us as well with good policies and financial solutions, financing for real estate developers who want to do affordable housing, or even people who want to do hospitality-based real estate, whereby you can have like a resort in such places that nobody even goes. Places like Shy Hills, for instance. Encourage developers to build there.
Yeah, and open up. The previous government, the current government, when they were in opposition, before they went to opposition, they were trying to build a whole city in a place called Saglame, the Saglame housing project,
Okay.
close to a little bit away from Dawa, just to open up
Dawa,
the
Kasoa. Those
yeah.
places are actually very good places to
Yeah,
invest.
come,
Yeah.
come. Kaswa is now joined to Accra. You know, it feels like
Yeah.
you're in Accra because of real estate. But let me find out. You mentioned it a little bit. Do you think that the year of return and the beyond the return initiative has actually boomed?
That was the
The- the-
kickstart.
the
For me, I
real
would
estate.
say that was the kickstart. That was where the ball game changed for Ghana. You know, yeah.
With
It's been, imagine what I said earlier on. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what the impact is on the economy? $4.8 billion.
that's a lot of
That's
money.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
1.2 million people coming into a country for that sort of initiative. That was groundbreaking. You know.
So if you're to give an advice to a diasporan, for example, would you advise them to put up to invest in real estate in Ghana?
Absolutely, absolutely. Diasporans generally, African Americans, even other Africans as well, should look into Ghana for investment, because even in West Africa, you can't, ignore Ghana
Yeah,
in
of
West
course,
Africa.
Of course, in West Africa.
You guys
yes.
are doing a good job. There's another place I forgot to mention, Santo, in East Legon Hills. Look at the topography, and there's a golf resort there as well. Now we even have a few listings there on the golf resort, right on the
nice.
golf. Beautiful view, very affordable, rental income granted because they run it as a resort. Do you understand? So
So Santoto is a nice place.
it's a nice place.
To
Yeah.
Now, what common mistakes do you think investors should avoid if they have to put out their investment in certain places?
I will give the answer for the show without having to send you my bill.
Please do.
I
Please
would
do.
just say that African investors generally should avoid making sentimental investments.
Okay.
I don't mean sentiment in the sense of investing on the African soil. I mean
Yeah.
sentiments, making decisions from a place of sentiment.
Okay.
We need to invest from an informed standpoint, right? Look at the future. Don't invest just for the now, because after a few years, what happens to your property? Like you said, a lot of places are untenanted.
Yeah.
So why don't you look for a place where you know there's traction, where there's growth, driving in that direction, and invest. So don't invest sentimentally. Invest from an informed standpoint. Talk to professionals. Understand where the economy is going.
Yeah.
What do the people need in the community I'm trying to invest in? So that you don't make the right investment in the wrong location, in that sense of it. That's what I'll say.
Let's talk also about, we have maybe some 5 minutes. Let's talk about sustainability and also community involvement, because a lot of these projects will take place within a community, and these people are not, their conditions are not good, and sometimes this can create a lot of apathy between them. So how can real estate development support communities rather than displace them?
Yes, we mentioned earlier about not just involving the locals when it comes to the manual part of the work. I think from the ground up, from the foundational, even the government itself needs to enforce local content in real estate. You can have a totally foreign-owned business, totally foreign-run business. It is not fair on the economy. It's not fair on the people, because they will feel undermined, and they won't even be receptive towards the stories of people who are coming to patronize that business. I like there's someone I know here, a friend of mine online, Mr. Edmond. He owns the Bridgeview Resorts in Akosombo. He has 100% local content on that resort. Ghanaians, they built the place and they run the place. I'm not saying do not hire foreigners, but don't make the most of your staff strengths, foreigners. You need to involve the locals in all your processes. That's the only way that
then they get to own the project. They feel like they're part of it. They own a piece of it,
Exactly. We're in Africa. We can't act like we're not here. People need to see that Africans can build. We have great African architects, African designers, people who can build on this soil. So why do you have to bring the worst part, for what I don't like seeing the most, is having all imported materials on the site. Why? What happened to our timber, our wood? What happened to our own materials, our own locally made tiles? We have all these things here. We export the raw materials, they finish it for us, they bring it back, we buy it, we break the bank. It doesn't make sense. We need to start encouraging Pan-African business. We need to encourage the economy, and it starts from even what we wear. Most people start with everything head to toe foreign brands. That's why I like Rwanda a lot. They've limited that.
And even in Benin, if you go to Benin, you find a lot of people wearing traditional outfits.
Absolutely. That's the way it should be. And also in terms of sustainability, what we build with, I think the future of real estate is taking us back to the past. If you think about it, we'll start having more of like thatched roofs, people building with wood as opposed to just brick and mortar. So we need to encourage local content, and also make sure that we are building homes that are eco-friendly, not just, it's even safer for us that way as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you were to give an advice to a government, an African government, on one thing to improve through tourism in terms of real estate, what would it be?
Okay, I'll first start with infrastructure.
Yeah.
The roads to all these tourist sites must be done, because if that is not in place, tourists will not come back.
Yeah.
If they come by mistake, they wouldn't come back.
Yeah.
And where the growth drive comes from is from repeated visits, not just one-offs. People telling their friends, "Oh, you have to come here," because there's infrastructure. And when development happens without infrastructure, it's a disaster, because the pressure is too much. Places collapse, flooding here and there, and then it also leads to insecurity. If I don't feel safe on the roads, I wouldn't be in your country. So the government needs to put the right infrastructure in place, do the roads as well. I think that's the most important thing. And they also need to encourage investors and make it easy. Like the land registration system, everything must be digitized.
Yeah.
Foreigners must find it easy to invest in your country. They don't have to go through a lot of stress or feel like they are unsafe making their investments. Also, I think in terms of financing, the government needs to encourage and invest in investors. And when I mean investors, I mean the developers, the builders. You need to give them easier access to financing, because they can't do all these things by themselves. Yeah, so I think those are the main
Now,
things.
we've also found that there are a lot of Africans, young Africans, who are supposed to contribute their quota to the development of the continent, are all actually migrating to the West. Everybody is leaving, It's just left a few of us who have decided that we want to stay here and do some work.
Just me and you and Mr. Emmanuel over there.
So what advice would we give them? Because there's a potential in this area, and it can employ so many people. If you're to give an advice to some young Africans, what would you say to them?
To the young Africans themselves, okay? Because we already spoke to the government. I feel like when the government does all these things, people will feel safer coming back home, when they feel like home is safe and they have jobs. Then I think that young Africans, just like I said earlier, we need to think of the future.
Yeah.
Because some places where we're all migrating to, they're already at their peak. You know the roof, the height of what you can achieve in those places. So at the end of the day, you can go there for maybe better opportunities for education and whatnot. But when push comes to shove, there's only home to come back to, and Africa is home. Yeah. So
Yeah, especially with all these that is happening in South
People
Africa.
are closing their borders. Not even South Africa. Even America is closing its borders to the black race.
So we don't have a choice but to fix our countries so our people can feel safe and stay here. So we're almost wrapping up the show, and usually before we do that, I do have some fun facts questions I would like to ask you.
Okay, let's go. I hope I'm safe though.
Yeah, you are safe. So let's do these fun fact questions. If you're to stay in a hotel or Airbnb, which one would you go for?
I said I'm a country girl.
Yeah.
I like that home feeling. I like being able to make my jollof, either Nigerian or Ghanaian. So I think I'll say Airbnb, but Airbnb that is, that has a view, something out there in the nature. Yeah, I like Airbnb. Some hotels also offer that, but Airbnb.
Okay, nice.
And because, sorry to cut you, because I stay in places for an extended period, like a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I prefer Airbnb because I don't want to just feel like, I'm in a box for a long time. Yeah. Okay. Hotels feel like boxes sometimes.
Nice. So if you're to do a beachfront property or a penthouse, a city penthouse.
I think that question.
It's been answered. I know. Why am I even asking? Okay, so I'm gonna put you on the spot. I know you like Accra very much. I know you have Accra in your soul, but Accra or Nairobi?
Accra. But Accra, right? Ghana, maybe Aburi, Shai Hills, somewhere on the golf course in Santor. Yeah, sure.
Okay, Cape Town or Addis Ababa?
Addis Ababa.
Addis Ababa.
Yeah, I love the Ethiopian tea. I'm a tea girl. I'll go where
the
tea is.
Oh, okay.
But Cape Town has good views though, Table Mountains and all that.
Yeah, Cape Town or Kigali?
Kigali is my second home. I cannot betray my Rwandans. Kigali all the way.
Okay. So, luxury resort or eco lodge?
Eco lodge.
Eco lodge.
Yeah. Luxury resorts are good. You go there, have lunch and all, but to stay, eco lodge all the way.
This is somebody who's thinking more sustainability, isn't
Yeah.
it? Okay. Tourism investor or residential investor?
I'll do both.
You do both.
Yeah, but to different percentage. I'll do both.
Give me.
Yeah.
So what percentage?
I'll
for-
send you my bill. Dr. Nee, I see what you're doing there.
Okay, so let's do quick questions here. One African city everyone should visit. One African city everyone should visit.
Everyone should visit. I'm in Accra, so come to Accra.
Okay.
And when you're done in Accra, come to Kigali.
Kigali. It looks
And after
like
that, come to Lagos.
okay. One African city you wouldn't advise anyone to go to.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So one African city everyone should invest in.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
It depends. Like I say, I don't have a one size fits all investment solution. So I wouldn't say everyone can invest in just one city. Depends
Yeah.
on what you're looking for.
Mm.
Depends on your investment goal, your investment
But
objective.
if they put gun on your head right now and say, you know what, there is some $20 million here. Which African city should you think?
$20 million. I could spread that around at least 4 African cities and give you good return on your investment. So
you still wouldn't choose one?
see me later.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
right now, let me just, like I said earlier, top four. If you
Yeah.
have a lot of money, Cape Town,
Yeah.
Nairobi, Kigali, Accra,
Okay.
Nigeria.
Nigeria. So
Yeah.
top 5 actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So one Ghanaian destination with huge untapped potential.
Huge, untapped,
Yeah.
Shy Hills.
Shy Hills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shy Hills, Wenchi. Because
Wenchi.
the entry point is still low.
Okay.
Do you understand?
You went all the way to Wenchi.
We'll talk about that another day.
Hey, this woman. Okay.
Because I need to find my investors and my
Right,
clients
right.
the best
But I think that
investments.
somebody should take you. Someone should. Okay, I'll find time and drive you myself. Maybe we have to go to Amejope.
Nice.
You like
mentioned that
Amejope?
earlier. I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to
Amejope
that.
is beautiful. Beautiful. Biakpa, those areas. It's stunning. You
Nice.
like it. You
Nice.
like it.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that maybe a lot of rich people haven't thought about Amejope because most people think about Kwewu, but most people haven't thought about Amejope.
I'm looking forward
And
to
the
that.
beauty about Amejope is that it has the second highest mountain in Ghana.
Wow.
You know,
Like
they
a
have
peak.
the peak. And when you are
Nice.
there, like you see so much. You know, you can
Wow.
even see Togo from there. Yeah.
That's
You-
amazing.
Yeah. You can
You
see
know-
Mount Agu in Togo
Wow.
from there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. They have waterfall, a few other
Nice.
things.
That sounds just like the Kivu area in Kigali,
Okay,
in Rwanda.
right.
You can also see Congo from there, like on the Lake Kivu. You
Yeah.
can see Congo from the other side. You can see Goma. It's lovely as well.
I haven't been to Rwanda. I think I should put that on my bucket list
have to.
for next year. I
Just
should.
let me know.
Yeah.
And then another place that I would like to show you is the Montgomery Golf Resort in Santon, East Legon Hills. Beautiful.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
I
see.
have things there for sale.
We'll see
on
it.
the golf
We'll
course.
see it. What one word to describe the future of African real estate?
I think I said it earlier. I think the future of African real estate is back in our past. We're going to start seeing homes like what our ancestors lived in, you know, like you said earlier, eco-lodges, places where we're building with materials here from Africa. The wood, the timber, thatched roofs. We're going back to where we started from. And those things will be sold to us. If the foreigners are the ones who build them, they'll be sold to us for a killing. So that's the future of
Okay.
African real estate when it comes to tourism and hospitality.
Okay. So what one word would you use to describe the Ghanaian tourism industry?
Beautiful, booming, thriving, opportunity for more development, but so far so good.
Nice. Thank you. You're listening to Z101.9 FM. My name is Dr. Niai Solomon. If Africa were to become the world's next great tourism destination, what role would real estate play in making that vision a reality? Thank you very much, Funke. Do you have any final words? Anybody you want to send a shout out to and all of that? Please feel free to do that.
If I were to list or list names, it won't go off. But I just want to thank you guys for inviting me. I had such a great time here. Mr. Emmanuel over there, thank you. He's been smiling. I'm doing something right, I guess. Thanks to my family, my friends, my loved ones. Thank you guys. And Dr. Nee, once again, thanks for the invite. I was hoping to meet Rebecca, but she's not here today.
Yes, Rebecca is not here today. I'm
Yeah.
sure another time you'll get to meet her.
Thank you.
Right. So as we come to the end of today's edition on Roots and Routes, one thing is clear: the future of tourism in Africa is no longer shaped by attractions alone. It is increasingly being influenced by the spaces we build, the communities we create, and the investments we make. So from the waterfront development and mixed-use communities to resource service apartments, sustainable destinations, real estate is actually playing a very important role in transforming the continent of Africa. And so my sincere thanks goes to our guest for the show today, Ms. Funke Alao, Managing Director of Molab Africa, for sharing her valuable insights with us and helping us understand all the nuances that has to do with real estate in Africa and even across the entire, in Ghana and across the entire continent. So we also explored Adanfor, a destination that I feel... Now, Funke, before I go, have you visited Adan?
Ada, yes, but
So,
long time ago.
Long
Yes,
time
I
ago.
have, yeah.
You should go there now
Also
and
was
see.
on the Volta Lake for a 3-hour cruise. So beautiful.
Yeah. So Adanfor is a destination perfectly illustrates our discussion for today. So to our listeners, thank you for joining us and thank you for being part of today's show. It's been amazing. It's been wonderful. It's been exciting. And you know that this is the only tourism and hospitality show that actually connects the world to all of us. It's been wonderful coming to you this afternoon and sharing all these beautiful thoughts with you. And again, I would like to say a very big thank you to my lovely guest sitting right here, Funke. Thank you for coming. And we are going to do this again, same time, same place. And of course, to Emmanuel right here, a very big thank you to you. And of course, to my producer standing right here, Garrix. Thank you also for making this happen. And so see you same time, same place next week. We shall have another wonderful conversation about all the beautiful things happening in the tourism and hospitality space. My name is Nia Solomon. Let's do live again next week, same time, same place. Bye.